Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tending the Flag. Of course, my name is PJ Kanojian, and I'm coming to you here from the lovely, rainy day city of Williamsburg, Virginia. And on the other side of the internet here, up in a wonderful state that's also very rainy right now, is Kevin Leonowich out of Wilmington, Delaware. How you doing tonight, Kev?
Hey, PJ. Yeah, equally rainy here, man. Still going strong all day, all day.
Yeah, it's going to be cart path only this week, so I ain't going out. Not happening. Nope. Anyway, we got a really special episode for you guys tonight. It's kind of a, lull in the action between majors and a couple tournaments going on. So we decided to dig into the archives and go with the episode of Shell's Wonderful World of Golf. And we're going to do a watch-along with you guys with it. So it should be kind of fun. Of course, Shell's Wonderful World of Golf was a match play program where... Well, I guess stroke play would be more accurate because it was stroke play, but it was a one-on-one match of two golfers who are big at the time. I mean, the show started in 1962 and ran for a couple years until about 1970, and then was picked up shortly after and ran from 94 until 2003 again. But it was a 1-hour program and was really notable for introducing people to courses they never would have seen. Like these guys went all around the world to do this, and they would give a lot of information about the host country, a lot of information about the city, like you'll see with this one. The one we're going to be watching today is from 1965. It's Ben Hogan versus Sam Snead out of the Houston Country Club. So it's a good one. Kev, did you what were your initial thoughts when you kind of read about this one?
I mean, it's just two of the greatest ever that went at it, a little after their prime, but it was a big get for the Shell's Wonderful World of Golf to pull Ben Hogan and Sam Snead at about 53 years old. It's really cool. It's such an old, to take lack of better words, it's such an old-timey video, and everything is so different from the way they play golf to the way they watch golf. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, and Shell's Wonderful World of Golf had a lot of great matchups. Like, I'm just going through the list here, and we have the guy who became the analyst for most of the shows, Gene Sarazen. He faced off against Henry Cotton at the old course at St. Andrews. We had another one. It was, of course, Ben and Sam Snead at Houston Country Club, what we're watching today. We got Jack and Arnold appeared on there twice, and one was in the more recent run of it back in the 90s when they opened up, when both those guys opened up the King and Bear Country Club in St. Augustine, Florida. We got Arnold Palmer versus Jack Nicklaus on Pinehurst 2 in 94. I mean, there's a lot of great matchups on this one.
Yeah, I mean, some really big draws from the very beginning, from like Gary Player, and then even when it came back in the 2000s, I mean, you were talking Fred Couples, Phil Mickelson, you name it, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, David Duvall, Ernie Els. I mean, the list goes on with the big names that they were able to get, and even the big courses that they were able to play at. You mentioned playing all over the world. Just in the first season alone, they played at Royal Hong Kong Golf Club. They played at Royal Melbourne, Pine Valley, the old course at St. Andrews. Like it truly was global.
Yeah, we got again looking at the list. You got Olympic Club in San Fran, couple in Spain, few more in the UK, Brazil. Like they went all over the place, and kind of tying into something that we have on the horizon where we're going to be doing in our next Course Chronicles. In 2002, Phil Mickelson and David Toms squared off at World Woods Golf Club, which is now known as Cabot Citrus Farms, but that's going to be the location of our next Course Chronicles coming up soon. So little bringing it full circle just a bit. But today, like I said, we're going to be focusing on 1965, Sam Snead versus Ben Hogan out of Houston Country Club. But before we get started, you need something to drink to enjoy this. Kev, what are you enjoying tonight?
I am enjoying a vanilla whiskey barrel aged tequila tonight. Just neat, tidy, on the rocks.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything's good except for the word tequila.
It's not for everybody.
Not a fan of the tequila. No, in my mind, tequila is kind of pronounced tequila.
No, definitely.
After a couple rough nights with it, and you learn no more tequila.
This drink's very much like a whiskey. It's very tasty.
Oh, that's good. That's probably better than because I guess it's aged in the barrels, and that's an interesting fusion that a lot of places are doing now. You're finding that more and more where they age stuff in whiskey barrels, like there's wines and vodkas and all that stuff aged. So kind of permeates the flavor. I am drinking a 1-cup sake by Johto.
Okay.
Of course, I do love me some sake, but I'm drinking that to celebrate a gentleman named Onosato, who was promoted as of today to Yokozuna, which is the highest level in sumo wrestling. And even crazier than that, he did it after only 13 professional tournaments, which is insanely fast. He's 24 years old. He became the 75th Yokozuna. And the way it works is that, you work your way up through the ranks, you become Magashira, and then after you win 33 matches in 3 tournaments, you become Ozeki, which is hard enough as it is, as you can imagine. And to become Yokozuna, you have to be promoted by a committee. They vote on it, and they say, okay, this guy gets the green light. But the big criteria for that is you have to win 2 tournaments in a row, which is insanely hard because you have 15 days. The tournaments are 15 days long, and they have all different ranks of guys and skill and, all sorts of different things. And, yeah, to win 2 in a row is absolutely insane.
It sounds it. There's not many a year either. It's not a every week thing.
No, there's 6 tournaments a year, and they started that format in 1958, I believe it was. And like I said, he's the fastest one to do it in 13, and it's not even close. The second fastest to do it did it in his 21st tournament.
Wow!
So he just steamrolled. It was crazy.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, he pretty much went overnight from Ozeki to Yokozuna. So he's the first Japanese Yokozuna since 2017, and he's become the 75th Yokozuna of all time, following, of course, Hoshoryu's promotion a couple months ago in January, I think it was, to the 74th Yokozuna. But Hoshoryu's Mongolian, and they've had just a run of several Mongolian Yokozunas. So the fact that he's also Japanese is kind of brings a little bit more to it, since it is their national sport. So congratulations to you, Onosato, and may you do well.
Yeah, cheers. I'll toast that.
Yeah. Anyway, back to golf, because we are not a sumo wrestling podcast. That's my other show. Just kidding. But yeah, let's get this thing started. So I love the music. I can't wait for this. This is so good. The music is so much fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's just give a quick countdown, so if anybody is listening, they can watch along.
Yes, and we're gonna have we'll have the link for you guys in the show notes, so you can check it out there. But we're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1, play.
Yes. So good.
A Shell Sports presentation. God, I love it.
The Houston Country Club, Houston, Texas. One of the Lone Star State's outstanding tests of golf.
So if you look at the clubhouse compared to today, it hasn't changed that much. They basically, like the 2 ends of it, they enclosed it in some sort of porch.
Okay.
But pictures of it today, it's fairly similar, and the layout hasn't changed that much either over the years.
A match over 18 holes between the former winner of both the British.
We're going to go into the course in a second. But yeah, it's playing back in 1965. It's playing still over 7,000 yards. Which is pretty remarkable with the ball and club technology back then.
Yeah, I mean, today we're at 72, 73,000, so it's not far off, and these guys are hammering it. Like, these guys are big hitters.
Yes. Legendary Gene Sarazen, winner
Gene
of every
Sarazen.
major title in golf. I'm George Rogers on the scene here in Houston.
That's one of the things I love, because when they were introducing them, we had Sam Snead, and they're like, all right, he's won the British and U.S. Opens, the Masters Championship, the PGA. Sam Snead, he wins 3-time Masters champion, PGA titleist, winner of 100 tournaments. Gene Sarazen, they're just like, winner of multiple tournaments. They didn't even bother, because he's got so many.
Not far at all.
Here we go, City of the Future,
yes.
Houston, Texas.
Houston, the city of the future.
And you can look anywhere and see that hand at work. in the great new highway.
Oh, they're showing the highway system here, and then talking about
Oh,
how
it's
crazy it is
beautiful.
because you can go up, over, around. You can do everything on this thing. Oh, it's beautiful
Yeah,
back
except
then.
for drive now.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's
you
an
can't drive
absolute
on it now. You
nightmare
just
right
park.
now.
Port facilities,
Yeah.
serving this oil, cotton, cattle, and chemical giant of the Southwest.
Yeah, we joke about being from Philly, about
There we go.
30 minutes north and south of Philly. We say we're from Philly, but it legit, you can be an hour north or south of the middle point of Houston and still be in Houston. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love the playground equipment. That looks so unsafe. Like the burn your ass slide in the 110 degree that they have down
Yes.
here. Oh, here we got the Astrodome.
Astrodome, still
Astrodome under
construction.
construction. Yeah.
Dome that closes out bad weather will be the home of Houston's
Plastic
National
dome that
League
closes
baseball
out
team
bad weather.
and their entry in the American Professional Football League. And in some
The American
circles, there is
Professional
future
Football
Olympic
League. That
talk.
shows you.
As
This is a cool
Houston's
cutaway, though. I
energetic
like this,
sportsmen
where
gaze into
they take the
city's
top
newest
off and they're like,
and most exciting
we're going to
football.
attract baseball and Olympics and
But all the
conventions.
excitement about Houston
Kind
future
of looks like
does not mean
my
there
fire
is
pit in the
anything
backyard when they
inferior
took the
about
top off of
Houston
that.
present.
Of course, day-to-day life in Houston with the $50,000 houses then and $290 million now.
I saw none of the suburbs of Houston that looked anything like.
It's probably for the best. So they had Rice University right there, and Houston Country Club was originally leased the land from Rice University to build their course when it started as a 9-hole course. So, again, kind of bringing it full circle back to Rice.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't realize that they took the land from them.
Mm-hmm.
And the liveliest and most progressive theatrical life west of New York.
There you go, the liveliest and most theatrical life
Rich
west
and
of New York.
satisfying, too.
The Broadway of the South.
Nor do the people of Houston have to wait for the domed stadium to participate.
Of course, they're
in
not
sports.
playing pickleball yet. We haven't
Tennis
quite
and
evolved there
swimming
from...
are part of
I love
the
this. Watch this.
And golf.
Boom!
Well, there are over 30 fine courses.
That is not a
within
dive. He does not get a
And here
10.
to tell us
That's
about the
about
one
a
we're playing
3.
today
He
is
just
Gene Sarazen.
splats.
You know, down here
All right,
in Texas,
I wanna track this.
folks pride themselves not only on the many outstanding golfers the state has produced, but on the large number of fine courses you'll find here. The new golf course of the Houston Country Club, which opened in 1957, is no exception. Some of the tees are over 100 yards long, so that the ladies playing off the front can keep up with the scratch players who tee off
It's a
from the rear.
forward tease, Gene. Come on.
The fairway
Yes.
bunkers are spread out to
We've
catch
moved
all
on from
fly
ladies'
drives
tees.
of all golfers, regardless of handicap. And believe me, this lagoon on the 9th
Just a
gobbles up
dude
enough
diving
golf
in there.
balls to keep business going.
He's
in
not
the
diving in a
post
pond. He is diving in a lagoon,
Once a
by
week,
the way.
though,
There is a
they
lagoon
send a
on
diver
the
in
golf
to
course.
retrieve him. And as you might guess, it's an all-day proposition. The greens, well, they're big and rolling and easy to hit.
So Gene's
But
mentioning
if
that
you
the
don't
greens
knock
here
the
at
ball
Houston
close
Country
to the
Club
hole,
are
you can three-putt
larger
enough
than
of
what they're
them to
used to
send
at
you
the
back
time.
to the locker
And
room talking
this will
to
play
yourself.
important with as the match
All
rolls
in
on
all,
and some of the
you
stats
have
that
to
we'll talk
place
about
your
at the
tee
end
shots
of it.
here and hit some well-judged approaches. Or you're apt to wish you'd stayed in the grill room and enjoyed a few hands of cards with the boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, here on the first tee
Of course,
is
back
where
when
we
golf
match
was an
you
all-day
underway. We'd
affair,
like to
you
remind
get
that
there,
our
7,
players are
8
competing
o'clock in the
today
morning, you have
for a
breakfast,
total of
you go play
$5,000 in
9,
prize
then at the
money.
turn, you come out and play a couple
$3,000 to the
hands
winner,
of cards with the guys and
$2,000 to the loser,
conduct business, have
$2,500
lunch and all that, and
in
then
the
you
event
play
of
your other
tie.
9. Like, it
Our
was,
match
it
has
really
always
was an
18
all-day
holes,
affair
medal,
back in the
or
60s.
stroke
Yeah,
play
there's a
under
few
before that.
there's a few
Golf
things that are
Association,
ingrained in my mind
which
as
permits the use of the larger
a young
American
kid
ball
playing
only.
golf, and that
Acting
was
as our official
the
coach
locker
for
room
today is
at
a
the
whale
golf
of
course
golf
I
in her
went to
own right,
almost
a
every
scratch
day.
player. Mrs. Marianne
Just
Rapnoe,
reeked
very
of
happy to
cigarette
have her with
smoke,
us.
cigar
And
smoke,
equally competent hands
and there was
to the
literally
referee,
one table, and it was a
Mr.
card table
Pam,
inside a
the
locker
handicap
room.
player here at the club. Former great
Yeah,
football player
and
at Yale,
how often now, I mean,
George
aside
as
from
a
just
Walker
to
Cup,
hit the bathroom, how
I'm
often do you
sure.
spend time in the locker room
par for
anymore?
the Houston
Yeah,
Country Club
not
course
much.
is 72, and it's a
Like,
long
I've done
baby,
it on the rare
7,000
occasions when I've been on a
56
road
yards.
trip down to Florida and
The
I
weather,
hit a course
we
on
had
the way
very,
and they had a
very
shower. I'm like,
heavy
all right,
rain
I'll
over
shower
this
up because
morning, but now
I'm
that it's
sweaty
tapered
after
off,
this.
it's gonna
But
be very hot, I think, with a high in the
and they
80s.
mentioned it here,
Now,
and
Gene
they are
Sarazen,
playing for
Springer
a
player
total
down
of
at
$5,000 in
the
prize money.
Yes.
So they split it if they tie. I love Gene Sarazen with the pimp cane. I love that.
Yes.
But they're playing for $5,000 in prize money. Adjusted for inflation, that's almost $52,000 that they're playing for, which nobody's even showing up for that much as far as the pros go.
Yeah, that's not even an
well
appearance fee.
manicured. It's about 7,000 yards long, and I think we're going to have a wonderful time playing it.
I'm sure you will.
He definitely had a wonderful time. They both did. Like, this is an incredible round of golf.
Yes. Ben Hogan's giving off the Ty Webb Caddyshack vibes.
The very, very best of luck and play well. Now, if you'll step over and join our referee, Mr. Rotan.
All right, now they're going to go to the referee. The referee's like, I want a fair fight, no hitting balls below the belt.
Mr. Rotan.
Referee's got a pimp cane as well.
A couple of the
Puff of smoke.
rules that might apply here, in addition to the USGA rules, and we'll have that toss of the coin just any second. Now,
Gene
there it
Sarazen
goes.
is so sharply dressed. Like, dude knew how to dress.
It is heads and the toss of the coin won by Ben Hogan. He will drive first.
Ben Hogan wins the toss.
The first hole here at Houston.
Shout out to the drone technology back in
1965
1965 for these overhead views.
5 yards out on the right, could catch a push tee shot.
Coming back from the future.
Yeah, right.
How much do you think that cost to get that helicopter up in the air and just,
Oh my gosh.
flying over the entire time?
So good.
Watch this swing, though, man. Ben Hogan's swing is just poetry.
Shot maker in the history of golf right here. I want
Yeah,
you
it's
to
about
watch
as
the way he
mechanically
handles
sound as
those
you can
hands.
possibly
Boy,
get.
He looks like a machine.
Yeah.
When he plays a shot to the hole, you don't have to look anywhere but look towards the flag. Watch the way he takes that club back straight away from that ball.
Ben has hit his opening tee shot.
Great classic sound of
Persimmon
persimmon.
noise.
Yeah.
Down there in the vicinity of those traps, he really busted a big
Man, and those persimmons, you had to be on, because anywhere but dead center of the club, it is gone. There you go. There's my dude, the orange guy. Orange jumpsuit. Dude running out in the middle of the fairway. Here's your ball.
Man, the
Yes,
four
he's a
caddies
fellow
are
that has
putting
a
in some
natural
heavy
feel
work
for
today.
shot at the one-piece business. Watch the way he takes his hands back. They're one piece from the start right to the finish.
Look at that. Not, and you notice they didn't like mess around. They didn't sit there and do 50,000 waggles or anything like that. They just
Yeah.
got up there, settled, and ripped it.
Yeah, Sam Snead is just it's just a natural, fluid swing. It's so nice to watch.
Yeah, and they both hit nukes right here. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's slamming Sam
yeah,
over here.
250 yards.
Here on the left-hand side, and Hogan will go with a
250. Yeah, you're gonna see Sam Snead about 10 yards further than Hogan on almost every tee shot in this match.
Yeah. Which is impressive that Hogan kept up. I mean, he was in that bad car wreck a couple years before this. And almost killed him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that he's still playing and getting it that close is amazing. Now, it did rain like pretty much all week in Houston before this was filmed, so that's going to make the greens a bit more receptive. But it's still incredible, like the way these guys are just dropping the ball in there.
Yeah,
And he's
absolute
going to line
darts.
up almost pin high on the left.
Yeah.
Two fine approach shots here on number one.
Yeah, we had Snead about 18 feet away, Hogan 12 feet away, so
Good approach shot in here on this
still
long first
right
hole.
in there.
Knocked it just about 11 feet from the pin. And Snead is 18 feet away. on the
Yeah,
opposite side of
Ben
the hole.
Hogan was born in 1912, so he's about 52, 53 going into this match.
Yeah, they're both 52. It was filmed in January.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ben Hogan won 64 PGA Tour events and 9 majors in his career before this. He was pretty much retired for the most part. Wasn't really participating in events. Sam Snead comes into this with 82 PGA Tour wins and 7 majors. That 82 Tour wins was the record for a long time until Tiger recently tied it. And Sam Snead was still competing. Just a couple weeks before this, he actually won a PGA Tour event and also won a senior major tournament
Hogan is coming from the
just prior
Yeah,
to this
and
as
he
well.
opposite side of the pin. And, it would
and
look
like you
as
said,
though
he kept
left
going.
side
Like
of the left.
73 became the oldest person to win on the PGA Tour. 70. No, I'm sorry. 73 was the oldest person to make a cut at the U.S. Open at age 61. 74, he was runner-up at the L.A. Open at Riviera. He finished third in the PGA later that year, and between senior and regular tour events, he's been a winner in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. So he's had incredible longevity.
He was going a little bit with the grain, and he hit it too hard, too. I imagine.
Yeah, a pretty cool backstory for both of them. They both picked up golf after being caddies at a very young age. Sam Snead was a caddy at 7 years old, while Ben Hogan was a caddy at 9 years old. And the club that Ben Hogan became a caddy at was called Glen Garden Country Club. Along with Ben Hogan, Byron Nelson was also a caddy at that club, which is a crazy rivalry that went into their playing days as well on the tour.
Yeah, I was surprised there. You know, they've been practicing on the practice green, which hasn't been
It's
cut
funny
and
that
slowed,
the
and
caddies
come
were
out
so
on these
young.
greens here where they're a little faster, and they
At
were
that
cool.
Glen Garden
Boy, they
Country
hold
Club,
two good putts before
you
they
weren't
did
allowed to be a
that.
caddy if you were 16 years or older, which is quite the opposite nowadays, where you're probably not getting to be a caddy until you're at least
There was no
16.
change in the match on the second hole.
Yeah.
A long par 4 dogleg to the left of 400.
And then you continue caddying for the rest of your life. So when you're like 70 something and ripping darts on every hole at the old course in St. Andrews.
That guy was my spirit animal.
The rain had begun to fall
He's
as
great.
Hogan teed up on the third, a 520
Yeah,
yard
the rain's
par
starting to
five
come
dogleg
down
to
here.
the
You'll see
right.
in the next shot too.
He hit a beautiful
On, Sam's shot, you'll see.
I'm loving the yellow tees from the tips, by the way.
Short of the fairway bunkers on the
Yeah.
right. The rain was really pelling down and lightning streaked the
I
sky.
don't think we
as
have to
Snead
stick with the
prepared to
red,
drive.
white, blue, black colors.
Yeah, right there, the thunder.
There it
Straight to
is.
the hazards at the angle of the
Thunder
dog
right
leg.
as he hits it.
Thunder, the sky is literally lighting up right now.
And carry
Yeah.
the bunkers on
They're like,
the right,
oh,
finishing
carry on.
maybe we should go in now.
175 yards out. With the electrical
There we
storm
go. There
reaching
goes
dangerous
the
proportions,
gallery of
officials
200
wisely
people.
suspended play. And the
Like how many
gallery
people? If they
returned
opened to that to the
safety
public
above.
today, because I know the match is very limited with how
Casual
many
water
people
lay
they
deep
bring
in the
in,
fairway a
but
few
they would
hours
have
later
so
when
many
rain
people
had
coming
stopped
up to
and
something
play
like this
was
today. I would imagine.
Yeah, this would be a
25 mile per hour
huge,
wind
huge
to his
event.
back. Hogan
Especially if you
decided
get
to go
two
with
of
the
the
rain-soaked
greatest
green with a
ever
four-wood from a
at the
slight
time.
side
Yeah.
hill lie.
I love this.
Ending a bit to the
25
right to
mile an hour
compensate
wind
for his
behind him. He
hooky
just
stance.
goes for it.
He
Also the
leaned
standing
into
water
shot,
too, man. They must have
got
got.
up into the wind for
They must have had a day
maximum
like we're
power,
having right now.
and saw it finish
Yeah.
dead in line on the
Well, they,
green.
I mean, they didn't have the drainage they
25 feet
had
short of the
back
pin.
then
No,
either on any
definitely.
of these courses. Like they were still just plots of land.
After
Definitely.
his tremendous drive, Snead found that he'd nothing left
We
but
talk
a
about
4 iron on his
grandstanding
long par
and
five
other
hole.
rules that really only tour
eased up on it a
tour
bit,
players
however.
take advantage of. We're about to
Saw
see
it
one of the most
just in front of the
egregious
green, kick on,
rules ever put into
and roll to a
effect.
finish
Oh,
35
it's
feet
so
short
gangster,
and to the
though.
left of the cup.
It's so gangster and an awesome play of the rules. I love it.
I hate it
Breaking
so
putt
much,
for
but
an eagle three.
hey, if it's in the rule book, it's in the rule book.
Yeah.
He failed to be firm enough with it on
All right,
the
let's
wet
track
green and
this
saw it
coming
swing
up.
off the low
Goodness.
side, a good 4 feet short. After Snead had marked his ball, the sharp-eyed Hogan, noticing water lying between the position of his ball and the pin, appealed for and received a ruling of casual water from the referee. This
You
meant
don't see
Ben
that
could place
anymore.
his ball
Oh, my
at the
goodness.
nearest spot,
First off,
not
he
near
is
the hole,
pacing
which
off
gave
his
maximum
putt
relief.
by yards
In
and
this
then
case, there were two such
putting his
places
toes
he could have
together
from the ball,
to signal the
left
feet
and
Yeah.
the right.
inside of it.
Carefully stepping
Um,
off the distance from
but
the pin, Ben placed
That's
his
what I
ball
love,
to
though.
the
Like,
left
he
so
puts
as
it
to
on
have
the same
for
line
his
that
putt
Sam
Snead
had.
just
Yeah.
had to negotiate.
That's why I say it's
He
so
had, of course,
gangster, because he's
closely
like,
studied
all
the
right,
amount
I
of
saw
break
that,
that
I
Sam's
saw the
ball
line,
took.
I saw the break, I know
Once
exactly what
he
it's going to
set
do.
to
I'm going to put it
discover
on
whether
that
or
same
not
line and
Hogan's
take
strategy
advantage of the
would
rules
result
right
in
here.
eagle three.
I would like to think that this match official, who was just like an average Joe at the club, was like,
His effort was also short and to the right.
Mr. Hogan, I'm not sure if you should do that.
For a birdie
And
four.
I would think that he was just like, do you know who I
He
am?
had this putt for his birdie to join Hogan at 1 under
Oh,
par.
okay, sir.
And after 3
man.
holes, the
Yeah, let's
match
talk
was
about
all
these
even.
putting stances. I
That
mean,
was quite a remarkable forward shot. that
everybody
Hogan
had
got
such a
on
weird
two on
putting
the
stance
It
back
sure
then.
was, George.
Yeah, it's
I was
just like
right there
kinda
to watch
knock-kneed
him the way
and
he was
hunched
addressing
over.
that ball.
Yeah,
He was staying a little behind the ball. He
I
had
mean,
an
their
uphill
swings
lie,
in
and I wanna
general
tell you, he's
are
one of the
super, like,
most beautiful
wide.
shots
Their
I've seen in a
stance is
long
super
time.
wide. They're standing so far away from the ball. But even with the
I doubt
putter,
it.
too,
He hit that shot full, didn't he?
Oh, that was a driving shot.
it just looks so awkward. The club angle, everything looks awkward. And even that was like a 30-foot putt. And I know it's, you know, in a water-soaked green. But still, Sam Snead follows through like above his shoulder.
Yeah. And Jack, I think, had one of the most awkward putting stances ever. Like, he's just like, it almost looks like he's using a child putter from a mini golf course, the way he putts. Just standing over it, you know, knock-kneed. It was so weird.
I've always said it, and I still maintain it. You could be the best putter in the world with a shoe if you put enough work into it. You know,
Yeah.
there is technology that goes into the newer putters, but I mean, if you know how to roll it, you know how to roll it. It doesn't matter what you're using.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed a little more balance between my current putter and like the one that I had in my grandpa's old golf set. It's more balanced, but Yeah, you hit it the same way. The putting technology doesn't matter.
There it is now, and it's tied down a little bit. It's blowing from right to left. Sam is aiming down the right-hand side.
Ripping and ripping.
Absolutely striped.
It has got a little bit of a right-to-left draw. He's going to be over near those bunkers.
God, those clubs are so hard to hit.
Whether or not he's in there or not, I do not know. He hit that.
Yeah, he dumped it in the sand. That's like the only hazard they hit all day, too.
Oh, yellow guy says not in the sand.
Ben Hogan, who,
I do appreciate the guy commentating. He's like, I don't know if it's in the sand or not, but what a swing.
wearing a look
Yeah.
deep concentration and determination right now. He's one shot behind in the match at even.
Well, I mean, they didn't have 50 cameras on every hole back then.
Let's see whether he starts this down the left and brings it to the right. That's
Yeah,
Sensor technology to send it straight to your phone.
It's not like he's in the booth either.
Oh, he faded it, and that has got to be as perfect a tee shot as you can ever hit, right in the middle of the fairway. What a
Look at that. Dead center.
Wink.
But going back to what you said about the tee markers, I love the alternative tee markers. Like Gettysburg National had the cannons. I love when they do that. That makes me so happy to see that.
Yeah, it's really cool. Look at these bunkers.
Look at that,
There's
just
zero
perfect.
lip, by the way.
It gets up.
Yeah.
That is literally, it looks like it's mulch. It's just flat.
Green, and he just barely avoided that other bunker.
That's kind of a criticism of today's game is most bunkers you see on courses aren't very penalizing.
Undoubtedly his finest tee
Yeah,
shot of the match. He started
Because these guys are just so good out of the bunkers. I mean, unless you get over to some links courses in the UK, you're not having a problem with the bunkers.
And even then, it's really only like a pot bunker if you're up against the wall. Yeah, I mean,
Starts away right
Yeah.
now, coming in.
you'll see a lot of pros.
Like you see guys now
playing, too.
using.
And look
Yeah.
out.
Look at that checkup. What a
It's
checkup.
incredible. It's so cool to watch.
Ben Hogan, who hit an absolutely.
Let's talk about the dress code here.
His fifth green, marked his ball.
I'm a big fan of the cap. I wear a golf hat. I've never liked the visor. I want to know how we went from these kind of hats to the visor, because I feel like that's a huge downgrade.
He hit it hard, but it's
Ask
not gonna
Bubba
get
Watson.
There, but that is a beautiful approach putt, I will tell you.
I mean, it was him.
No,
Phil,
I'm with you.
all the lefties, man.
Yeah, Phil had it. Yeah. It was that had to have started in the 80s, like the 70s and 80s, where the beer companies just wanted like some cheap giveaway they could give to people.
This one in.
But I don't know.
Sam is 1 under. And he has this putt for his part.
Like I love the fedora.
Yeah. Classic,
Right-hand
dude.
corner, but it fell
I
in,
guess I
and,
can't talk much
moved
because I wear a
forward
bucket
on
hat
and into
half the time.
gallery.
So
He is really happy to get it down in 2 from 6.
I don't think that's as egregious as a visor, though.
So now Ben Hogan has this 5-foot putt for a birdie 3 to even the match.
But yeah, if you look in the crowd, you see very few people wearing, what looks like a modern day baseball cap.
Yeah, yeah.
Of the game, as you know, a very careful, meticulous man who takes his time.
Ooh.
He did every inch of the hole.
That looked like there was a magnet. That was straight out of Space Jam, dude.
Oh,
Over the
That
next
was
few
great.
holes, both Hogan and Snead continued to demonstrate their mastery of the game of golf.
yeah, and that's one of the beauties about this show too, is that it was only an hour long,
Yards, but some
and they just
225
would
yards off
highlight some of the
tee.
better holes on
The
these
fairway
courses
dogleg
rather than
sharply
just
to
kind
the
of playing
right,
like
and
a.
then begins to
I guess you would call it
descend
just
to
a
very
regular
well-timed
ho-hum
elevated
hole.
green.
No, yeah,
So you
you're
would
right.
see the
What is
best of what the
required
course
here
had
is
to
a
offer.
precisely
We were talking about the
controlled
other
left
things
to
that have
right
been
tee shot.
released
While
on
the packed
YouTube out
gallery
there.
looked
So, like,
on,
we have
Hogan
the,
opened his
Wonderful
stance
World of
ever
Golf.
so slightly to
We
encourage
have
it.
all of the Sunday rounds at Augusta from the Masters on their page.
He fitted his
There's
drive to
old
the fairway
skins
like
matches
hand to
with
glove.
pretty star-studded lineups as well. But those things were like 3 hours long in itself. So it's pretty cool to see this
Yeah.
where you could actually just sit down and watch it in one
The seventh
sitting.
presents a completely opposite problem.
Yeah, I was
It, too,
watching.
is
I
a
fell
par
asleep to one of the
4,
Skins
and
games last night. It was
314 yards is even
Arnold.
shorter. This hole,
Uh,
however, doglegs
what was
in
the one? Arnold,
opposite direction,
Chi-Chi, Jack.
left.
Was that? I
Hogan
forget
was on
exactly
and
what it
two
was,
and
but
down and two.
I love the
He
Skins game
tangled with the
format. That
trees
was
on
one of my
left
favorite
and missed the
formats,
green
and
to
it,
the
it might
second.
just be because that was like one of the tournaments I
Sam was faced with
watched a
a
lot with my
7-iron
grandpa,
chip shot of
but
140
or at least really
feet.
remember watching. But I always thought that was such a cool concept the way they played it,
Yeah, I love a good
the,
skins
like the
club.
carryover onto each hole.
Some 3.5
Yeah,
feet from the hole.
Yeah, you also have the old
Snead needed
putt-putt
this putt,
championships.
however, to stay even with Hogan at 1 under par.
To be fair, they kind of have the same like putting
He was
stroke, where
equal
like
to
you
the
know how they
pressure,
raise
as
the
he
putter
clearly
through the
demonstrated
stroke.
value of a
Like
good short game to consistent
Yeah.
it's kind of
scoring.
funny.
Those
On
putt
par
putt
five
championships,
eighth,
they had
however,
they would
523
have
double
like the I
dogleg
guess
to
the
left.
championship round of that
Both
at a
Hogan
course in
and Snead
Florida,
proved that they are only
and
human
it was
after
in
all.
Orlando. I never got a chance to play
Each
it.
had a
Like we're
makeable
talking
birdie
about
putt
the
with Hogan
you know
away.
because some people call mini golf putt putt, but I'm talking about the actual place putt putt.
Even body English
And
didn't help, and Ben had to
yeah, they
settle for a
had
par
that
five
down
to
in
remain
Florida
1
for their
under.
championship.
Snead's putt was
Never got a
slightly
chance to play it
downhill.
though.
Nice. These guys are currently playing a
He pulled it
horseshoe-shaped
considerably to the
hole.
left.
I think I
And
said it was about
matching the
525 yards.
Continued the neck battle, going to the
They put
216 yards.
they put the
ninth hole.
classic just squiggly line drawing of these holes
Ben Hogan continues with
for the
honor
broadcast,
here on the United
and all I'm
States.
thinking of
He
is
has only had the
Bryson
honor of
turning
4
sideways and hitting one
matches
towards the
began,
green
and
and
only
raising
4
his fist in the air.
This is just as
How
beautiful
often do you see a
project
double
as
dogleg
we
like that?
were on the world.
Very
Anymore.
rarely, and if you do, it probably comes with a good amount of criticism.
Hogan is going
Yeah,
to
like
hit a
it's
2-iron.
you'll get the
Remind
one
me
that's
now,
kind
both
of like a
players.
lazy turn
One
to the
under par
left
in
and
the
then
match,
your
always
dog
at this
leg,
point.
but that was almost straight 90 degrees each time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of like an S-curve hole, but
Hogan started it at the flag. It is moving
yeah,
a little bit to the left,
it's
but not
kind of
much.
silly the way
Boy, I will
they
tell
had
you,
this
he just
diagram.
Oh, look at
carried
that.
on the front of that green.
Almost dunked it.
I don't think Ben caught that
In the
one
water.
Almost
the
in
way
the
he wanted
wash.
to.
Yeah.
The lagoon.
Now here's the slammer. He was debating on the tee possibly the use of a 3-iron, but having seen Hogan just barely carry that water hazard, my guess would be that Sam will also hit a 2-iron.
They're both hitting 2 irons. I mean, that's not even a thing anymore.
No.
He
you imagine-
started it way,
Unless we're playing, then we got the
way
1-iron
low.
now.
Yes, well, not a 2
Carried
iron.
on the green about 10 high,
Nope.
will roll
The
all
modern
the way
day
back
broadcast
to
would be
himself
saying they're 7
from the
woods.
putt.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't going to see any hybrids here. Look at that.
Well,
He's,
it's huge.
what did I
Ninth
write
green,
down?
and the
He's
player was
wound
able
up,
to get the ball particularly close to the hole.
he was like 60 feet away from the hole on that one.
40-footer. And
Yeah, he just hit
40
about
feet,
40
okay.
feet.
appears to be a
Yeah,
good
40
swing
foot.
from left to right as he looks at the ball.
Well, look at this putt. Look how close he gets it.
Starts way left.
So
Breaking down
wristy.
in.
Look at that. Just absolutely flawless.
That is exactly why this man is one of the
Hits the
greatest
bottom
approach
edge of the
putters
cup
in
and
golf.
lifts out.
What a
That is
Mhm.
harsh.
From 40 feet, though.
That is harsh.
You heard that gallery when that ball was 6 feet from the hole. I think everybody thought that Snead had it.
This,
Like, these guys putted flawlessly on this in this
straddle.
round.
So Sam will tap it in and finishes a very good front nine. I'll tell you, 1 under par. Very nice.
All right, now they're
Yeah.
going to go in for their sandwiches.
It's below the hole.
I would like to point your attention to the caddy right now, performing the namesake of the podcast right now. What a beautiful way of tending the flag.
Would really love to hold this one.
Ah, you said the name.
I said it. Yay!
Starts up toward the hole, but that putt is not going to get there. He was
Doesn't
coming
get
up
there. It doesn't
against
have
the
to.
grain,
Just
and
get it
then,
close, man.
left
That's
that putt
Yes.
maybe
these guys were the
2
poster
2.5
children for
feet.
just get it close.
This
Like it's beautiful.
Boring golf being played right now. Every fairway, every green, and 2 putts on almost
Got it
every
down.
hole.
So they finish that front nine all square.
So it's worth mentioning now at the turn that this is only the 4th time that these guys
Well, I
had
was
met in
talking to
head-to-head
Ben, that's
competition.
the finest 9 holes he's ever played, covering that flag from tee
Yeah,
to
listen to what
green.
Gene says
You
here.
know that his ball has him buried 10 feet from the tee shot to the flag. How about that, Ben?
What's that?
That 9 holes, that's a perfect 9, but your putter could have improved.
Well, that's about as good as I can play, but what I'm doing on the greens is good night.
Well,
That's
Ben,
awful.
you keep
Good
on hitting that
night.
green, something's going to happen with that putter, too, I'm sure. Sam, how'd the ball stay out over there?
Well, you saw it. I thought it missed a hole on the top side, and of course that green caught it right at the last moment, and it really gave it a fast move to the right.
Sam George said that you're the greatest approach putter he's ever seen. I quite agree with him.
Approach putter. Oh, well, I tell you. I
Gene
better do
Sarazen's trying to
something,
compliment
fairly well
Sam
before
Snead
long.
right now by being a good approach putter. And he's like, I don't even know what that is.
And, at the turn here at the Houston Country Club in Houston, Texas.
So good.
Mr. Hogan, Mr. Snead, all even, both 1 under par on Shell's Wonderful World of Golf.
Yeah, so like I was saying, it's the fourth time they
On
met
the
in head-to-head.
end
The
hole,
first
a
time they
long
met
par
was in
four
San
of
Fran back in
430 yards. Both
1941,
Hogan
and
Snead drove
Snead won that
safely
one
in the fairway.
66 to 68.
Hogan,
Next one was the
255 yards off
1950
the
LA
tee, had a
Open, which
full
was a
4 iron
playoff,
left of the slightly
and
elevated
Snead
green.
again won that one 72-76. That
As
one
he
was
had done on
Hogan's
shot
like
after
big
shot,
comeback
Ben
round.
rifled this one straight at the flag.
That same year was the year that
Bounced,
Ben
missed
Hogan
again
went
by an
on to
inch,
win the U.S. Open at
pulled up
Marion.
27
So
feet
he,
past the hole.
famously took that one iron
Snead, who
on
had driven
18 there.
265
Yes.
The third
yards,
meeting
lined
was
up
the
a 6
54
iron.
Masters, where Hogan was going for the first
He hit one of
back-to-back
his
Masters
finest
win
irons to
ever,
this point in the
but
match, which covered the
Snead
flag
again
all
beat
the
him
way
by playoff in
and
70
pulled
to
up
71.
15
So
feet short.
at this point, Sam Snead is up 3-0.
Ben read a huge
on their
left to
head-to-head
right
meetings.
break in his 27-footer from the
Ben
back of
Hogan's
the green.
seen red about it too.
Mm-hmm.
Cool story about
He
that
judged it almost
one iron.
perfectly.
When I was
Had
at
double
Marion
par
for the
four,
Solheim
made
Cup a
one
couple
under.
years ago, I was walking down the middle of the 18th fairway, and I have a
coming
cool
from the
picture of
opposite
it.
direction would
I
swing
stood
across
right
the
on
line.
that plaque. It was really cool.
Nice.
The ball seemed to go in the hole and come right out again.
Look at that, another
Snead
lipper.
also was forced to
Snead
tap
is
in
using
for his
every
score
inch
to
of
stay
it.
at 1 under par and even in his match with Hogan after 10 holes.
I mean,
The match
even with
remained
with
even
all
on
of
the
Snead's
11th.
lip outs, even
Par
if you
four
count
of
them, he still
403
doesn't beat
yards,
Hogan
which
in this.
doglegs slightly to the right.
Which
Two
is
pars
crazy.
Here continued both Hogan and Snead at 1 under regulation figures. At
Yeah, there's that squiggly
573
line drawing you were
yards,
talking
the
about.
12th hole was a
That would be
backbreaking
kind of
par
cool
five.
in modern
A huge
broadcasts where you
oak
see
tree
the tee shot,
250 yards
like when they're
out,
taking the tee shot, and you just have it kind of in a block down in the lower left-hand corner
Yeah.
of what the hole looked like.
It would be neat. I love the yardage
The green
book
can be reached in 2 under favorable
views
conditions of wind and weather,
that are pretty
but it would require
simplistic,
two
just
tremendous
with a couple
hits.
numbers here and there.
The narrow kidney-shaped
I don't
green
need a
is one of the
full,
best bunkered on the course,
3D,
particularly at its entrance.
every pixel accurate,
Well, the match continued
to the
on
texture of the
full
hole.
attention.
I appreciate the
Bill,
simplicity
this
of it.
is a real dogfight.
Yeah.
Neither player giving an inch. And I don't think they have ever been
The
more
ultimate
serious
flex
about
on the
match
tee
now
is hitting
as
the
they
ball
are
down
about
because you teed it up too high with your
beautiful
club.
par five.
That's
But
so
nobody's
good.
gonna reach this green at 2, I don't believe. No wind at all now, dead calm. And Ben Hogan with the honor. And
What's
Hogan
crazy
has
too is that they
aimed down
just
the
don't
straight
hit the
left
rough
side
at
of the
all.
fairway.
Like they are both just hitting
as
fairway
there,
finders.
He'll have a good open
Yeah, there
shot
might as
there.
well not even be any rough here.
Yeah.
Now here is Sam
I mean,
Snead.
it ain't
Sees the
Oakmont.
ball, The wind begins to freshen a little bit.
That is for sure.
I don't know if you saw that. I had a stat on that where the rough at Oakmont. I'm gonna see if I can bring it up real quick. But the rough at Oakmont is like stupid. It's
Hit it down the right side. That's the best tee shot he's hit.
oh, where
today.
was it? I don't remember where it was, but it was something
what a
like
lovely tee shot. That's
5
right there, a
inches.
country mile right in the middle.
I don't know.
Deep,
It's
which
long enough
is
to not bring a kid because you
insane.
might lose him in the rough.
Ben Hogan's tee shot.
Yeah,
goes
it's
right down the
ankle
side of the
deep, which
fairway here.
okay, I get it. It's the U.S. Open, and yes, I agree. I want it to be
He's gonna
challenging,
take it forward and
but
just
that's
lay
just
the
going to do
ball
nothing but frustrate guys. Like that's very penalizing. Maybe a little too much, in my opinion.
That's what I'm here for, especially in the U.S. Open.
top of that, put it down in the swell.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I keep saying it. I want to see two things on the tour. I want to see them either be superheroes or like super average, and just get frustrated like we do because they miss the fairway by a couple inches. Like, I want to see them struggle or shoot 20 under.
Hanging lie there.
Yeah, well, they're going to struggle because they're calling like the winner to be maybe even par, maybe just under it, possibly over, like hovering right around the par mark.
Yeah, it'll be a very good test.
And where Hogan laid up with a forward
It's only,
swing,
what,
has
like a week
taken
away? 2 weeks
wood
away
from the
now.
bag.
2 weeks,
I
yeah.
imagine
Next
he's
week's
gonna
medalist,
really
and then we
bust
got
this and try to get it up close
Oakmont.
to that green. It's a low shot. He's going to carry well down into the swale. And he knocked it
But
up
yeah,
there.
it'll
I'll
be
tell you,
interesting
within
to
about
see how
20
those
yards of that
guys
front trap,
handle
and
that
those are
rough,
two tremendous
especially
shots back
guys
to
who
back.
don't know how to hit in the fairway. Rory.
Well, the following wind here has Ben Hogan in a bit of difficulty. He tried to keep his forward.
If he even
section
bothers to
across
show
the
up
hole
for it,
on
because
top where it's well
he's not showing up the medalist.
Right?
Just trickled over as a
Which
nice
is
hanging lie there.
kind of messed up. Like I don't know if you saw that story, but he didn't even bother to like call Jack and tell him, "Hey, I'm not making it out to this."
Ball up with a pitching wedge in the
Yeah, I don't know.
And he's been dodging the media. I don't know what the deal is with him lately.
I don't know. Just another day being Rory.
Yeah.
To put it in perspective right now, the time frame of this match, like we said, Sam Snead, Ben Hogan are in their early 50s. The big three of Palmer, Nicklaus, and Player are just rounding into their prime currently, and they are dominating the PGA Tour. Just to put in a little bit of a perspective.
Situation has changed quite
A true
rapidly.
passing of the torch from these two being the greatest of their generation to, I mean, the group that now gets remembered at Augusta every year,
Gotta flip up over the
dominating.
You can hit it past
We're talking
the
like
hole,
modern day
but,
comparisons
also
to
very
like
fine shot.
Ben Hogan and Sam Snead. I mean, we're talking like Tiger and Phil going at each other here.
Well,
Yeah,
something
I would call
could be
that.
in the making right here.
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel like Ben Hogan and Tiger would be a fair comparison with Sam and Phil,
Who hit his approach to the left of the pin.
being a little more natural
About 18
than
feet
robotic.
Sam Snead is, I would say, no.
Yeah, I mean, completely changing the game based on how they played. I mean, obviously, we all know the Tiger tees and how they modified courses to Tiger-proof them. We don't really have, like, I can't think of a great rivalry now.
Birdie putt here.
No, I mean,
Just like,
Bryson
you
and
kind of had the
Scheffler
passing
right
of
now.
the torch moments.
or Bryson and
Yeah, but
Rory.
they're that two different tours.
That's the
Can't count it
problem.
on the same.
That is the
Well,
problem.
that one rang the bell.
But like, there was a
He's been
very,
clearing in on that cup, and he
I don't want to say like a solid line, but a very passing of the torch, say, from the Sam Snead class, Ben Hogan to Arnold. And then there was another fairly solid passing of the torch from Arnold and Jack to Tiger and Phil and, that class. I haven't really seen too much of a solid passing of the torch to the Scotty Schefflers and the new group of guys. Like, it's just kind of been like a gradual move to the younger guys. It hasn't been one dude just jumping out ahead and insanely dominating. I mean, Scheffler's playing out of his mind, of course, he's dominating. But it's not like he's invisible, like in a way that Tiger was.
Right. I saw a cool article on Twitter the other day that mentioned something to the fact that with the modern technology being as good as it is with the clubs and the balls and everything, that it's harder to be head and shoulders above these guys because like back then these guys were the best ball strikers in the world by far, and that's why they're able to play so consistently. And nowadays with the drivers and irons, like, you don't have to hit it dead center every time. Like, you can escape with a bad shot every now and then. And that's really brought the talent levels more compact, and that's why the leaderboards aren't always just star-studded events anymore.
Yeah, the clubs and the technology is so forgiving today. And Jack kind of had a quote on that too, and I don't have it pulled up or anything, but I think it was in his most recent press conference talking about Medalist and or the tournament next week, and he was saying, the technology changes and the guys keep making the courses longer and longer, and all that's doing is costing more money and more money and more money. And I'm kind of with that. Like, I like the old approach like this of the game where you had to think, and you had to be a great ball striker to be able to play. Because these clubs are so incredibly hard to hit. I have an old pair of an old set of ping eyes and like a persimmon driver and some things that go with that too. And I can't do it. I mean, every so often I'll catch the persimmon correctly, but it is just so hard to hit those clubs right.
Yeah, I mean, perfectly said. It's nearly impossible to do what these guys did.
Even the ping eyes from what were they, the 90s, 80s, something like that. They're still, you got to center them perfectly. I mean, it doesn't help that I'm using a Pro V1 to hit that with, and you need something super soft to play off a persimmon driver.
Right.
But, oh man, it's tough. But when you hit it right, it feels great.
Snead had bogeyed this hole, and Ben Hogan were then to knock this putt in. Ben would move 3
It's definitely
shots
rewarding. I mean, you hit a solid strike with those old clubs, and you literally don't feel the ball. It's really cool.
Yeah.
The pressure putt.
But if you're off, man, your arms are ringing.
If he can get this one down from 12 feet, he can go 3 under and lead by 2.
Look at that, 3 under to lead by 2.
Well, I think everybody in the gallery
As
realized,
hard as he hits that, he should be
Ben
10 feet
shoved that
past the hole.
ball.
It is
That he
crazy how
actively
receptive
left
these
the
greens
hole and
are.
pulled it. And he still has
Oh, shoot.
putt over
I need to
the
find it.
left.
I saw this just earlier today on my lunch break at work, and it was something about Oakmont's greens. However,
1 under after 13 holes.
I wish I could find the year. However long
Yeah,
ago.
it was like,
Terrifying 230
I saw something differently because I was going to say it's like 19 on the stim meter for the Open.
Right. Maybe for this week, but back then, Oakmont was running at a 9.5, which was almost 2 full indexes higher than the the next course on tour that year.
And put it on the left front portion of
Yeah.
the green.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it, but it was crazy.
Snead decided on a 1-iron, a dangerous, straight-faced club that not even many pros include.
Oh,
in
here's the
14
1-iron.
clubs they're allowed to carry.
Of course, we
Sam,
all
one
know
of
the
the
quote,
few
if you held it up in the air, not even
shot
God
had
could
the
hit a
misfortune
1-iron.
of pulling the ball. He did succeed in putting it on the green, but left
Look at that, he
the
puts
putt
it on
at
the green.
60 feet, as compared to Ben's 40-footer.
There you go. This was a 60-footer.
Snead now is
This
faced
is just
with the problem of
incredible.
getting down in 2.
What a lag putter he is.
He didn't begin to hit the ball hard enough and stopped a disappointing 8 feet short.
Disappointing 8 feet short,
When
please.
Sam had marked, it was
Oh, I
Ben's
found it.
try.
I found it. It was from 1977.
Okay.
Oakmont was a 9.8.
The disgusted Ben Hogan crossed his feet
Oakland
at the
Hills
third
ran
of
an
the green,
8.5.
while Snead proceeded to replace his ball.
And that's the distance it travels, 8 feet 5 inches. So
When
Oakmont was
Hogan had in turn
a full
marked,
foot
Sam
and
tried
3
to nail
inches
down
faster
3.
than every green that
It
they
was his
played
first
that year on
3-putt lead
tour.
of the match, and he
Augusta,
earned it
for
in double
reference,
figures.
was playing at 7 feet 11
Hogan needed
inches.
this one to remain 2 under.
And to kind of
And he opened up a 2-stroke lead.
compare that to
Hard-decided
today,
player had enjoyed during
8
the
to
match.
9 is considered slow.
On the 15th hole, a
10 is
390-yard
considered the
par
preferred
4
speed for
dogleg to
high-end
the right.
golfers.
Both Snead and Hogan hit the
11
green
is
in the
considered
regulation
fast and is
2
generally
strokes.
suited for low
But
handicap.
Sam was
And
considerably
12 and
better.
higher are extremely fast.
Yeah. I mean, these are basically the greens we play on the munis nowadays are about as fast as they were on tour,
34, 35-footer
Yeah.
downhill.
which is crazy.
Hogan is 11
I mean, which kind of makes me feel good about myself, but at the same time, like, I couldn't imagine playing on 17, 18, like what Oakmont's going to be playing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Just straight up ice. Look, another one that's just barely hanging on
Sam
the
had
edge.
himself a little smile there. He didn't
Living
change
on the
expression for a
edge.
moment, and then just kind of smiled a little bit and shook his head. That was a beautiful putt, and how it didn't go in the hole, I'll never tell you. But he will tap in to remain even par after 15 holes.
And at no point in this to either of the guys go like
Dominate putt that
over
may mean
par.
more to Ben Hogan
No,
than
I don't even
the
know if they make a bogey in
best
this.
player match.
No, they don't. Like they got a flawless scorecard the entire way.
3 under par. And with 3 holes remaining, would have a 3-shot lead, which is an awful lot to give a player of Hogan's steadiness.
I love that. Put the putter in front of the ball and then take it back and go throw it.
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Could be.
Yes, sir.
Style.
Yes,
Right there.
style
Right into the
points.
heart of the hole.
That one
3
was
up with
right
3 to
in the
play.
cash box.
Unreal.
Hogan is 3 under and leads by 3 shots after 15 holes.
There you go. Right in the
Gene
cash
Sarazen
box.
got the
You know
zeroed in
what?
a
Ben Hogan, they said, was 3 under and 3 shots up. Sam Snead was 1 under after 9, so he had to have dropped a shot there. So I take back that nobody made a
Yes,
bogey
he's putting
comment.
for birdie on every
Hmm.
hole.
Well, he's making them right in the right
Take
spot
that
now.
back.
With 3 holes to go, Hogan is 3 under and leading by 3 strokes here at the Houston Country Club in Houston, Texas. On the
Which is
16th
hard to
hole
believe
at
because
the
they
Houston Country
were
Club
both
in
almost
Houston,
like
Texas,
100%
a
frozen curves.
183-yard par 3.
Yeah.
Like it's
Snead and
They were
Hogan
both
matched
absolutely
almost.
astounding.
They showed
Hogan
Sam
3
Snead
under,
hitting a fairway
maintaining
bunker
his
once.
3-stroke lead.
And
On the
Ben
17th,
Hogan's going to go
backbreaking
18 for
straightaway
18
par 5,
and 18 for 18 coming up, or
Ben
not 18
continued the
fairways,
fine
but
driving, which had typified his
100% on both coming up
Tee shot,
soon.
260 yards, dead center.
And look at this. We got a 573-yard par 5. That's a modern day length.
I mean, that is, yeah. It's a true
Swinging
3-shotter.
so hard he lost his normally perfect
Mm-hmm.
balance. Sam smashed his drive 5 yards past Hogan's
These
ball.
ladies are thrilled.
Yeah, and he still almost falls
With
off.
the green out of reach.
He still almost falls over and he hits it
Hogan
perfectly. Like,
uncorked
it's
a
it's
tremendous
amazing.
3-wood.
It's funny, he used the word uncorked there, and
Ball
I can't
caught the downslope of the
I can't
fairway
help but
and
to see
rolled
it
to
now
the top
because
of the
like
gap, 50
they
yards
literally
short of
twist
the
their
green.
legs and their full body. There's not much like
Despite
knee
the fact
bend
that
or
he had a
anything,
tight
so
lie,
all it's literally all
he decided to
torque
go
from
for
their
broke
body.
and
It's
hit his
not
driver from the
it's
fairway
pretty
in a desperate
crazy.
attempt to get close to the green. He barely got the ball airborne.
They give that like
Its
leg
slow-looking
knee
flight
kind of
carried
kick
it
out
down into
to
the bottom of
generate
a
their
deep
power.
square
Yeah.
from where it rolled
And that
to
was
the
was
top
kind of
of
the way that
hole.
my grandpa
Hogan had
taught me
carried
how to
on the
play
fly
was,
moments before.
you know, not
So
much
Snead,
movement
his
in the
gamble
legs and like
backfiring,
lower body.
found
It's just
himself
all core and
115
twisting.
yards
Mhm.
short of the green, with his opponent in perfect position. Sam prepared to hit a soft 9-iron.
Soft 9-iron.
Like, if you look at his feet, they barely
Beautifully
move.
judged approach, almost pitched in the hole for a 3.
Almost darts it.
So good. And that's like a pitch shot with a 9-iron. I
lined
mean,
up a
most people are
wedge
just
is
lobbing
Yeah.
wedges in there instead. I mean, just the touch and the creativity using
The
a
ball
9-iron
carried
there is
pin
so
high on the
cool.
left and finished well past the hole.
Just to show how good that is from there too. I mean, Ben Hogan hits almost the same shot, and it bounces almost 15 to 20 feet further. It's
Which he was
crazy.
marking with the line, so Hogan has requested that he move 2 club head lengths to the right. He has complied with that request.
Yeah, these guys were so close together in
Hogan
terms of
flew the
skill.
wedge
Like,
a
it
little bit
was
here and, hit it
ridiculous to
about
see.
24, 25 feet.
And again, for the second time in this match, where you hit from isn't really, the matter at hand. So we are going to casually move our ball over without, marking and moving and marking and moving. We're just going to say, yeah, that looks good.
Close enough.
Breaking in toward
Which
the
today,
hole.
they would have like laser levels, and
You would not believe the amount of break on that putt.
they would measure it out to the blade of grass.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they don't have that thing like the way they measure in curling. They have that like the weight sensor,
The cup just got it down.
Yeah,
like for precision measurements.
Laid it dead.
some neckbeard sitting at home. Yeah, he looks like he was 2 blades of grass away from where it should actually have been.
He played out of
3
turn.
under par after 17 holes.
That's like the Tiger curse, because he was on TV all the time. People would call in. You remember that?
Yeah.
People would call into like the PGA officials and be like, he did something slightly different. It looks like he brushed a grain of sand with his club.
That's still so bizarre to me that you can actually do that.
The hole, and he got a good
Yeah,
chance to
I
go
know.
school on Hogan's putt. In other words, you can bet your bottom dollar that he noticed.
It also kind of says like how ridiculous some of the rules of golf are, because you're not intending to do that. Like, you're not doing anything on purpose.
Yeah, I agree.
If you brush a grain of sand, it's not a big deal and doesn't affect anything, but it's against the rules.
Pulls one back.
There he goes, back to 1 under.
Pulls
Yep.
one back.
Hogan 3 under, Snead 1 under. Going to the 18th tee. Well, Gene, we go to
Going
the
to
last tee
18.
with Hogan leading by 2. Is the match over or no?
A golf match is never over until the putters hold out on the last hole, and that Snead is still after Hogan.
Well, I'm very anxious to watch the 18th, and I'm sure everybody is. As we go to the 18th tee, Hogan 3 under and Snead 1 under here at the Houston Country Club in Houston, Texas.
You lose a match to Gene Sarazen, and he's gonna
The
put you in
18th
bed
is
with a
straightaway
horse
par
head.
4, 403 yards with fairway
He's like this
boundaries
little
ranging
mobster
from
out here.
250 to 270.
You're gonna hit the fairway,
Yeah.
see? You're gonna hit the green, you see?
Short iron approach
Make
is
a putt
played
for
like-
He
birdie.
does such great analysis. Like, for all of these, he does it. It's so much fun watching him talk about it.
I appreciate him talking to the players because he tries complimenting them, and then like he kind of backhand compliments at the same time. Like it's really good.
And I don't think he'll hold anything
Yeah.
back on this hole either. He'll try
Nobody's
to
hit it
find
better
out.
than you today, Ben. But you're putting, whoo-wee!
Here we go.
Meanwhile, we're all sitting there at home like, what are you talking about? This putting was great.
A real whistle
only
down
made
the safe left-hand
How much
side
more do you
of
want
the
it to be?
fairway.
It's like playing PGA, 2K,
Right.
where it's like, all right, you'll put it 2 feet away from the hole and be like, well, that wasn't great. You could have done better. I'm like, what?
What?
Lead who can
I could not have done
play
better.
Of course, conservatively. It is up to Snead to catch him. He is the man in the lead. And
Whack.
Ben has busted
Let's get our
another
4
fine
caddies
tee
back
shot,
out there.
which is going
Come on.
to
Yep.
miss that
Last time we
bunker
see him on the match.
Run on
right-hand
out.
side of the fairway. And both of those tee shots. are
Near
going
him.
to be
There he is.
just perfectly in play. Well, there's a pretty good crowd around this 18th green, ladies and gentlemen. A tremendous gallery. Both
Yes,
players.
the gallery has
about
increased to 600
265
people.
off The 18th tee. Snead just slightly
I like to
away.
think
He's
that they
going to
just
hit a
showed up one day,
little
and the
light
members
6
that were
iron.
present were the ones that got to witness this.
It's probably what it was. Just they invite the members out, and that's the only people who get there.
Pretty good-looking shot that just didn't come in. It swung
But I
out to
don't
the right,
I don't
almost
remember
pushed
seeing
out
any of
another
these
bit.
where the gallery was like
Pushed
that
a bit,
big.
Almost pin high to the right as Sam looks at the hole.
No, I don't think they really were.
Well, Ben Hogan watched.
No. Of
Sam
course, you got the
Snead
bobber
hit
on the end of
ball
the
almost
flag
exactly
there.
pin high with a 6.
Whatever that thing is.
And he also is going to hit.
That's just in case it gets tossed into the lagoon.
Yeah.
Also started out to the right, begins to swing in, and another fine
I love
shot
that
by
lady
Hogan.
bringing the chair with her.
Unfortunately, this is Hogan's last time ever being on the Wide World of Golf. Sam Snead would play a couple more of these over the next few years.
Yeah.
Sam Snead is on the home green.
Yeah, Hogan was kind of wrapping it up. Like, Hogan retired in 71, so he had, 6 more years left in him. But,
Jeez.
hell of a teaching career.
Good-looking stroke, but it just
Nukes that. Look at that.
That's
everybody in this
unbelievable.
gallery was just hoping that...
But yeah, hell of a teaching career Ben Hogan had. I mean, we're still watching his videos today to learn how to play golf, is how impressive he was as a teacher and how great his swing was.
To remain 1 under par
And you'll see it once it wraps up, these guys, and we'll track it on the thing and just be quiet and let you listen to it. These guys do a quick little lesson, which I think is really, really cool and something that I'd like to see more of on today's broadcast too, where the guys where the announcers kind of almost give pointers on how to do stuff. Like at one point, and I forget which hole it was, they were talking about how Ben Hogan opened up his body to hit a fade.
Yeah.
And it kind of clicks on you like, okay, yeah, I need to open up my body a little bit more to hit a fade. And I think we need a lot more of that in today's analysis of golf.
Yeah, I agree. We didn't really touch on it much during this video, but the broadcast guys, they're so good because they make it feel like it's on the radio. Like, I feel like I could watch this without the video playing and still follow through and like understand what's going on. While like modern broadcasts today are more like telling stories and like occupying your time because it might be boring. So by like condensing this match down to just an hour, like it just flows really well and it's informative. Like I said, I appreciate that radio feel to this guy.
Sam,
Yeah, it's true play-by-play.
you ran into
All right, here we go.
Superman today, huh?
Gene's pulling everyone in.
That's about as well as I think I've ever seen Ben play. Really played wonderful, didn't miss a green, and he hit every shot right on the button. That was really great.
Ben, I want to congratulate you. That's the finest round of golf I've seen in my lifetime.
Well, thank you, Gene. Very nice of you.
That's
and
a
I want to
compliment right there.
congratulate you again.
Thank you. And Sam, again, I enjoyed playing with you. I always do, and I'm just sorry that your ball didn't get a little closer to the hole today. We'd have had a better match.
On behalf of Shell's Wonderful World of Golf, I want to thank you both for such a wonderful show.
Well, thank you, Gene. Thank you, Gene. It's nice to have been with you. And
Thank you.
Shell.
Thank you.
Good.
George Rogers?
Gene, I think together with everybody else in this...
Yeah, this is something that you would kind of see. I mean, they're kind of obviously they brought something similar back with this with the match and all, but it's more of like I think a format like this is more better for a YouTube show than maybe broadcast television.
I don't know, man. I think this is perfect for broadcast TV. I mean,
You think?
especially with the way, like, you know, TV shows are released nowadays, like waiting all week for 1 hour. I would love to sit down, like, with a dinner, or, like, maybe if this is 7 o'clock on a Sunday, you know, like, just, I don't know. I would love to, I would await these and put it on my calendar.
That's fair. I just don't know if it would have like the primetime staying power because, you know, you got to watch Survivor 50.
Yeah,
now.
that's true. That's true.
You know, whenever golfers get together, there's always lots of arguments about what the most important thing in the golf swing is. We thought we'd put this question to one of the greatest players in the game.
All right, here comes the
That's-
tip.
Yeah, this is what I was
Well, the
talking about with the
thing in
lesson.
golf
This is
swing to me
insane.
is the movement of the lower body from the top of the swing. And if you don't mind, I'll demonstrate. First off, you start down below with your knees and your hips. At the top of the swing, you move the lower part of your body, not your shoulders, the lower part of your body, letting your arms and hands follow, bringing you into position to hit. But this is the first movement there. Then you release at the bottom.
But
Most
you notice
people do
it's
it
all the knees on
entirely
there.
opposite.
Like it's
They
knees and
rotate
torso.
their shoulders
truly
first
is
instead of their
all
lower
in
body.
the hips.
As a result, they come across the ball and hit the outside of the ball instead of the back of it. If you don't mind, I'll hit a ball.
I feel seen right now.
He's
And the
basically
first thing to watch
I was gonna
is
say, he's
the-
basically
is
talking
what
about
starts
casting.
first from the top of the swing.
This is something I've been struggling with coming out of the winter this year. I've only played like 4 rounds of golf, and I get that it's, you know, almost July. Or it's almost June for that matter.
Look at his slow-mo. His feet are so quiet, though.
That's so good.
It is not the Scotty Shuffle.
It's so pure, dude.
To show that there's more than
Yeah.
one way to arrive at the same objective, here's a slightly different approach from Sam.
Well,
Sam
Gene,
put on
I
the
think
I've
swing.
recently started lifting up my
backswing,
left foot
starting of the
on the
downswing,
backswing.
that means the difference between a good shot and a bad shot. As you know, you'll see a lot of the so-called dubs. They'll get to the top of the backswing. We call that playing the flute when the fingers come apart.
Playing the flute.
Now, when he grabs on the
playing
downswing,
the flute.
he'll make a
Playing the
cast
flute.
from
I've
the
never
top,
heard that
which
before.
causes the club to come from the outside in, which you may have a banana
Oh,
ball.
I'm sorry, this
or
is
maybe a
casting what
ducky
he's
hook
talking
or
about.
something.
Yeah.
But I emphasize holding on with the left hand, the last two
That's right.
fingers,
Ben was
never
talking about
turning
coming
loose
over the top.
throughout the swing. So you start to pull down with the left hand on the downswing while it pulls the weight into the left side, and you have a nice, firm body, and you have a nice, firm shot. I'll try to
I
demonstrate
appreciate
to
a
you.
nice firm body. Thank you, Sam Snead.
Look at that. Wrists are up, 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 and don't hinge until they're past the ball.
It is funny how different those two swings are, though.
Yeah. They're both perfect, though, which is incredible.
There
we go. There's the good music
yes.
again. Love it.
Put me to sleep with this every night. I love this. I was talking with some guys over the weekend while we were playing golf about differences in swings, and I brought up the point of I've seen Jim Furyk swing. I can't say anybody has a bad swing. Like, there's no such thing as a bad swing anymore.
No, and back to the point of the technology being so forgiving, like, you can get away with having not the greatest swing in the world. Like, you don't have to be as pure and as solid as these guys.
Yeah. Oh, man. What an incredible...
1965.
What an incredible viewing experience. That was so much fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I would really suggest to you guys to check out some more of those Shell's Wonderful World of Golf. And we'll do this again every so often, is pick up one of these, maybe even take some of the Masters stuff and kind of edit down the round, or maybe just watch like the last hour of it. But yeah, it was crazy. Sports Illustrated reported that on the match, and they said that Hogan never hit his shot more than 10 feet offline of the flight he intended to travel. He never once hit the ball into the rough or a hazard. On all 18 greens, he was putting for either a birdie or an eagle. And if someone like Arnold Palmer or Billy Casper had been putting for him, he might as well have scored in the 50s. And yeah, he's just a surgeon with a ball in his round. Like, it was amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's probably the purest ball striking round, almost ever. I mean, if he did have like 34 putts or 33 putts or whatever it is, yeah, he left a lot of shots out there, which is crazy.
Yeah, Sam had a lot of lip outs there, and it would have been, I think it was still pretty close. It was only 2 shots off, but oh, what a match. And it was so much fun, and we're going to do it again sometime. But I think that's going to bring our show to the close for the evening. So I hope you guys get a chance to watch this along with our commentary and can enjoy it. And we would love to hear your thoughts on watching this, Ben Hogan versus Sam Snead out of Houston Country Club. Just put that in the comments wherever you watch our videos, because we are wherever podcasts are sold. And of course, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Trying to build up the viewership and listenership and get a bunch more people into building our little golf group here. And don't forget our socials either. We got X, we got Instagram, we got YouTube at Tending Flag. We have some cool videos up there, a course playthrough. We have a trick shot video, and we're going to have a couple more videos coming soon. But Kev, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just going to tease a couple more future endeavors for us. We just finished planning a golf trip that is going to be focusing on Tobacco Road, coming up at the end of July, beginning of August. So we're looking forward to that. We're going with, it's not just us, so we're not going to bring the cameras with us. But we will definitely be recapping the trip, maybe doing a course overview of Tobacco Road. But it's something that we've done before, big trips, multi-week trips, weekend trips. We've got some experience planning some golf trips. So if there's anything that you guys would like to hear from us, maybe how we go about it, just trip recaps of what we've done, we would love to dive into them as well. So let us know in comments or send us messages on the socials, and just let us know what you would like to hear from us. Also, let us know what other matches maybe we should watch next. I'm impartial to maybe finding some Chichi Rodriguez ones because I see that he is prevalent in a few of these. But yeah,
That was the next episode, was Chichi.
Is it?
Right after this,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah, that'd be cool. We also have our next course chronicles coming up soon, where we'll be doing Cabot Citrus Farm, formerly known as World Woods Golf. So we're getting all that together, and I think we're almost ready to record that one and lay it down. So that should be coming at you guys in the next couple weeks. And we'll have a bunch of course chronicles on the way, and hopefully some more videos coming to you soon, and just a good time. Good time to be had by all. So again, Tending the Flag on the socials at Tending Flag. And hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. But for now, my name is PJ. Thank you guys for hanging out. And have a good night and hit them straight.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.